Right, 4 August 2024, and today I'm excited to be giving you my evening update. And I normally do this so that when you go to sleep, you understand what's going on in our country. And we're at a critical point in our country, Zimbabwe. I'd like to thank all of you for joining. And let us start with the latest developments regarding SADC. So, as I said to you a few weeks back, Mnangagwa has failed to complete the renovations at the Rainbow Hotel. So the Rainbow Hotel in Harare was supposed to be the venue, the backup venue after the failure to complete the villas. So Mnangagwa was building villas where presidents from SADC countries were supposed to go and sleep. So Mnangagwa has failed to complete the renovations at the Rainbow Hotel. And what Mnangagwa has done is that he has now started to beg hotels for rooms. And there are 3 hotels that Mnangagwa has been asking for rooms. And I want to show you this craziest thing here that has happened. So Crown Plaza Monomotapa is right opposite the Mbuyane statue. Mnangagwa wants to put some of the presidents over there. Then he wants to put some of them at the old Mikos Hotel, which he now owns. And then he now wants to put the rest of the presidents at the Rainbow Hotel. The problem is that the rooms in these hotels are not presidential rooms. So what will happen is the president of a country is going to sleep in a room that is right opposite another room of another person, and there'll be a corridor right next to where they're sleeping. And this is not allowed. You can't have security of that nature where a president is a door away. And this is what Mnangagwa has done. And I want to show you how old these hotels are. So the Monomotapa Hotel here, which I'm displaying, was built in 1974. So this is the Crown Plaza Monomotapa. And the last renovation that took place there took place in 2014 to make the room look like this. So let me remove that banner so that you can see what I'm talking about. This is a simple room with a simple bed. This is the biggest executive room that these guys have got at Crown Plaza Monomotapa. Then the next hotel that Mnangagwa is asked is his hotel, which is the Hyatt Regency or the Old Mikos Hotel. This is the Old Mikos Hotel here. And this is what it looked like when it was built by the Rhodesians. So this was way back. Let's see what year this was. This was probably older than the Crown Plaza Hotel. This is Rhodesia. This thing is coming from way back in the past. They've renovated it, and it was bought by Hyatt Regency. And you can see what it looks like now. If you look at this street, we walk down this street here from Harare Gardens, right there at the bottom where there's those blue things there. That's where the Crown Plaza, the Hyatt Regency Hotel or Mikos Hotel is. And this is what the room looks like at the Mikos Hotel. This is their room here, their executive room. And I'm saying executive room because Mnangagwa has failed to find any presidential rooms. There's no presidential room in the whole of Zimbabwe. What has happened is that since 1980, when Zimbabwe got independence, which is 44 years ago, there has not been a single new hotel built in Zimbabwe of the same level as any of these hotels I'm talking about. So there is currently no 5-star hotel in Zimbabwe. The highest star that we got, I think, is 3-star. And you can see that we're not mentioning Holiday Inn here. And the reason why people are not being sent to Holiday Inn, I won't say it now, but it's because of who owns the Holiday Inn. After the Holiday Inn moved out of Zimbabwe, someone within ZANU-PF has bought shares in the Holiday Inn of Harare. And Mnangagwa will not allow that hotel to host people from parliament and also people from SADC. They're not going to be going there to the Holiday Inn. So we currently have a number of hotels that are used by delegates in Harare. So if you look at the little hotels that are there, they're smaller hotels. Like the new hotels that has been built is N24, right opposite the ZANU-PF conference. That hotel has got 16 rooms, if I'm not mistaken, or less. So it's very cheap. I think it's like $40 a night or something like that. And then if you go further down, the same street, I think that is Samora Masho, you keep going down, you're going to pass the Central Corruption District, and you go over, and as you get near to the Holiday Inn, on the left, there's another N24 there, which is almost a dump. Like people use it for all sorts of Sodom and Gomorrah activities. It's like a flat. And there was a hotel which was supposed to be built by Hubert Angel, which is the Hippodrome. And that thing is not completed. Hubert Angel has not managed to complete what he had designed, which was supposed to be a venue of an international standard where people could sleep. Then there was a plan by Philip Chianga, who was supposed to build a massive entertainment and hotel center with people like Michael Jackson and all that. That project did not come through. I don't even know what happened to the land, and that didn't happen. So Zimbabwe has been stagnant in terms of hotel development, and no tourist can come to Zimbabwe and think that they can sleep at a hotel in Harare. The price of a hotel is so expensive in Harare that it's unimaginable. There are times when I've gone to Harare and I wanted to sleep in a hotel, and I was quoted something like $300 or $400 for a room which I would normally pay 700 or 800 rands here. So that is almost 4 or 5 times the cost of a room. And most of these rooms, the carpets smell, and the bathrooms don't function, and they've got bugs. Imagine the president of a country going to sleep in a place with bugs. So it's massive. It's a massive problem. And Mnangagwa has now gone to these 3 hotels, which is the Rainbow Hotel, Crown Plaza Mutare, and also the Hyatt Regency Hotel, to ask for executive rooms. And when I say executive, remember, after executive, there's diplomatic, and then after diplomatic, there's a presidential room. The whole of Zimbabwe has got only 1 presidential room, which is at the Rainbow Hotel. They don't have, in fact, they've got 1 presidential and 4 diplomatic rooms at Rainbow. All the other hotels that I've mentioned here, they do not have a standard where you can put a president in that room. Otherwise, you have to put him in someone's house. The problem we have is security. If you put someone at Hyatt Regency, you are putting someone in the middle of a populated place, and you are at war in the DRC, you are at war in Mozambique. If guys want to attack you, it's very easy for them to just wait for you in those buildings around there, and you won't be able to recover if these guys come. Similarly, if you put someone at Crown Plaza, down there at the bottom in the corner, you are just a sitting duck for attacks. Security is a big problem in these 2 hotels. I think security is a bit better at Rainbow Hotel, but in terms of parking, there's no parking, and your delegations, your security, they won't have anywhere to sleep. So we have a massive problem in terms of the preparations for SADC, but we have a bigger problem in terms of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has been stagnant in terms of development, and this SADC has demonstrated how bad the situation is in Zimbabwe, and Mnangagwa is exposed. Right now, there's no exposure like what has happened to Mnangagwa. The SADC guys came to inspect. He told them they'll be finished by month end. Today is the 4th. He has missed the deadline from June. So it's June, July, August. He's missed it by 3 months, and he's still not finished. The villas that they were building, the materials are still in Mozambique. They are still at the port. They can't move those blocks of cement that they imported from Mozambique, because they imported blocks of cement from Mozambique. I'm going to show you the blocks of cement that they imported and how they're transporting them. I've got video of the whole thing. So when I get time, I'm going to send you these things. I want to take a break now and allow General Ruende to speak. Then I'm going to proceed with the next segment. So General Ruende, I'm going to allow you to step in. And if any of the guys want to come in here, I've put the link on the comments, but it's not necessary. You don't have to come in here. I'm just giving you the link. General Ruende, are you ready?
Yes, it's okay. Gambakwe, how are you?
We can't hear you, General.
Can you hear me now?
Very well, thank you very much.
I am good at you, Gambakwe. You know, it's very sad that is happening in our country. I came here just about the activists that are being persecuted and getting arrested. for the sake of a SADC summit. And our country and our government, they need to understand that if they had a dialogue with Nelson Chamisa or the stakeholders of the previous elections, we wouldn't be in this situation, because this is clearly showing that Zimbabwe is a failed state. It's clearly showing that there is no democracy in Zimbabwe. What we are fighting for is for our voices to be heard. So if the government start persecuting us and arresting us, clearly they are trying to show the world what we actually speculated, or what other people are speculating. They are confirming that in Zimbabwe there is no democracy. The likes of Namatai, she's a 25-year-old lady who is trying to speak out. And I do believe that we do have a right to think and right to speak our mind in Zimbabwe, but we are being denied that right. And Bishop Nyamakanga, Kelvin Nyamakanga, he is a leader of a church, and I don't believe that he is violent. And I do not understand why our government is arresting these people and opposition leaders. Okay, they have allegations of saying that they have go against the law of the land. So why are they being denied bail, or are they being denied a day in court just for their case to be heard? It's still a question to be answered. But I would love to urge all Zimbabweans that ngatisaurei moyo. Let's all have a strong heart. The struggle is real. Let's not have fear, because once we have fear, we will lose. This is all about installing fear into the masses of Zimbabwe. This is about installing that we do not have confidence in ourselves. We do have confidence in ourselves, and we know what we want. What we want is a free Zimbabwe. What we want is for the people to have the power. We gave the office of the president. We voted. We put them in the office. So we are the power. So the government do not have to underestimate us. Yes, they can kill the people, they can arrest the people, but they will not arrest the idea of freedom. The more they are arresting people, the more they are giving us the courage, the more they are giving us the power to fight for our freedom. So they can keep on doing whatever they are doing, arresting people, persecuting opposition leaders, but we are the power. And they can arrest the people, but they will not arrest the idea of change, the idea of a free Zimbabwe, the idea of a Zimbabwe that was fought for by Josiah Magamba, Tongo Gara, Johnson Ziapapa Moyo, Masuku. Those people, they fought for a free Zimbabwe. And that's what we want. That's all we want. We don't want to be in the government, but we want a free Zimbabwe. We don't want to rule Zimbabwe, but we want a free Zimbabwe. The one that they promised in the liberation struggle. They promised us that we will have a free Zimbabwe. Are we having a free Zimbabwe today? They promised us we are going to have a freedom of assembly. Are we having the freedom of assembly? We do respect that ZANU-PF is the custodian of the liberation struggle. And we do appreciate the work that they have done in the liberation struggle. But what they fought for is not what we are getting. We are just reminding them that, guys, what we fought for, what you fought for, is not what you represent. Can you represent what you fought for? We don't have a regime change agenda, but we want a free Zimbabwe. What they fought for is the custodian of the liberation struggle. Are we living the life that they promised us? Are we having the land? No, we are not having the land. Are we having the freedom? No, we don't have the freedom. Do we have the right to assemble? No, we don't have. So what did they fought for? They fought for themselves, clearly confirming that they fought for themselves. Gambakwe.
So, President, thank you very much. I don't want to take a long time. I think your message is clear. It's clear that the people that have been arrested are not being kept there legally. It's just a scare tactic. Is there anything else you want to say before I move on to the next segment?
What I can say, and I want to urge all Zimbabwean people that together we will stand. Let's not be intimidated by a shenanigan to hold on to power or to cling on to power. Zimbabwe is for all, not for a few elites. They can kill, they can arrest the people, but they will not arrest the idea of change. They will not arrest the idea of freedom. We are not violent people. We are not looking for violence, but we are looking to talk. We are looking to sit down with our elders and show them what we want and tell them what we want. We don't want to fight. We, as much as we want Mnangagwa to be the chairperson of SADC, as Zimbabwe to be the chairperson of SADC, we want also our Zimbabwe to be free. We don't go against him being the chairperson of SADC. We don't go against Zimbabwe being the chairperson of SADC. It is Zimbabwe's right to be the chairperson of SADC. But now, if it's coming at the cost of the people, it's no longer right. If it's coming at the cost of the Zimbabwean economy, it's no longer right. We don't want it. If it's coming with the cost of other people, if it's coming with the cost of other countries and our freedom, we don't want it. We are not against the chairmanship. We are not against SADC being the SADC summit being held in Zimbabwe. We do want that. But if it's coming at the cost of other people's lives and the cost of Zimbabwean freedom, we don't want it. That's Zimbabwean people. Let's all have courage to speak our mind and speak to speak our ideas, because together we can we have Zimbabwe. Without us being together, we don't have Zimbabwe. So let's come together. Let's not be intimidated by a shenanigan of clinging on to power. And let's not also, I want Zimbabweans to understand that let's not speculate things. Let's not circulate rumors. Let's go with the stories that are real, that have facts. As Zimbabwean people, we have now Nostradamus stories that are going around. We want to go around with facts, so that we all have the same story, not propaganda, not spreading propaganda like the current regime. Because if we spread propaganda, we will not know the truth. So let's all be the truthful people, the peace-loving people of Zimbabwe, with courage to fight for our freedom. What
Okay.
they fought for.
Thank you very much, President. Thank you very much, President. I want to stop you because I want to keep this very short, and I hope that we will resume our weekend sessions next week, Sunday.
Thank you, Gambakwe. Thank you. I thank all Zimbabwean people.
All right. I would like to thank all of you for watching. And what I would like to do is then let's recap what we've said. We've said that Mnangagwa has failed to finish construction and refurbishing the hotel rooms at Crown Plaza, at Rainbow Hotel. So Mnangagwa was supposed to put the presidents of SADC here. This is the Rainbow Hotel, which was built or refurbished in 1982. So after refurbishing this hotel in 1982, in Zimbabwe right now, there's not been any new hotel construction. This was in 1974 when the Crown Plaza Monument was built. And this is the Hyatt Regency from 1970 something. I don't know, even earlier than that. And what Mnangagwa has done is he has begged these rooms, for these hotels for rooms, and he has received 20 rooms from the 3 hotels. However, the required number of rooms is over 80. A president walks around with a delegation, with security and so forth. So there is no president from SADC who's going to sleep in Zimbabwe. In fact, what is going to happen is that on the 17th, the SADC summit is going to open on the same day and is going to close on the same day. There is not going to be any visit to these places that are not done. Like, for example, Geo Pomona. It makes no sense for a president to go to Geo Pomona. The Museum of African Liberation, it makes no sense to go over there. So the presidents are going to come from the airport where the pavilion is not complete. So they're not going to use the pavilion because it's not complete. They're going to use the normal airport. What a waste of 200 million. Mnangagwa spent 200 million and nothing is complete. He's going to drive them straight to Parliament. And after the meeting, they will close and then they'll drive back to the airport and go back to their homes. And all the arrests have been for nothing. All these people that are being arrested by Mnangagwa, it's for nothing. There's no point in arresting all these people that Mnangagwa is arresting. So it's a crazy situation, but it demonstrates how backward Zimbabwe is. We are living 40 years in the past. The things that you are seeing right now, that I'm showing you, this is what someone, if they wake up from their grave and they died 40 years ago, they can even tell you where everything is. Some of the keys that they are using at the Crown Plaza Monomotapa are still the same keys that were being used 40 years ago. This is how crazy this situation is. We are living in a backward country led by Mnangagwa. And Mnangagwa is making it worse because he's arresting every young person who is trying to speak up, which is crazy. And speaking about that, Namatai Kwekwedza is appearing in court tomorrow. I hope that she gets bail. She's appearing with the 3 guys. So that is Namatai Kwekwedza, Samuel Gwenzi, Robson Chere, and Vusumuzi Moyo. They were dragged out of an airplane last week, and they've been locked up since Thursday. So they were taken, they disappeared, and they appeared in court on Friday. They were remanded till Monday, and then they'll apply for bail tomorrow morning. You know that Bishop Nyamakanga, he has been put in jail without being remanded. So the judge ran away from the stand instead of giving a ruling, and therefore they put him in jail until the 7th. The same with Ngarivume. Ngarivume is also in the same cell. So together with the 78, they're just waiting for a judge to say something. But it's crazy. The situation we have in Zimbabwe is crazy. We've got over 120 people in jail at the moment, and SADC has gone silent. If you go to all the SADC platforms, there is nothing. They are not saying anything, and I hope that they are listening. As you know, I traveled to SADC last month to the secretariat in Botswana. I told the guys at SADC secretariat that there are over 1,000 people in jail in Zimbabwe, talking about the money changers, the touts, and the activists. At that time, it was 1,000. Now it is more than 1,000. And these guys are not being given trial. They're just being kept in jail. Similarly, I traveled to Zambia, and the message was clear. We must put Zimbabwe on the agenda of SADC. We have failed to put Zimbabwe on the agenda of SADC. And my understanding is that the Blue Movement is calling for protests. And we're going to await to get a proper direction. I know Prince Dubeko Spanda has already said there must be a protest. So let's see if that is going to be the message from Nelson Chamisa. I haven't seen Nelson Chamisa saying clearly if there must be a protest. However, there are so many opportunities for a protest. So, for example, tomorrow, go to court and sit. Your large numbers at court are a protest. Without you singing, without you touching a placard, if 10,000 of you go to the protest to the court, you've already protested. There are events like where ZANU-PF is holding events. If you are really serious about protesting, go to the National Heroes Acre when ZANU-PF is holding the event and make sure 10,000 of you are over there. If you're organized, you can do those kind of things. Those are protests which you can do legally and without even lifting one placard. So I think it's clear we are in a very dangerous moment in our country, and we are so backward. We're backward, and SADC has done one thing, which is to show that our country is not developed. We need a fresh, new approach in Zimbabwe. We need a new leadership, and that can only happen if we have a transitional authority after dialogue leading to fresh elections. So I think that is clear. I've said everything that I wanted to do here. Mkoma Enoch is saying we're cursed as a country. As for me, I've already accepted our fate, born to suffer. No, do not accept Mkoma. What we're going to do is, we have started something big as young people in this country. Change is around the corner. What we just need is to pass this stage, and it won't happen without some pain. There's going to be a lot of pain. There will be so much pain within the next few months like you've never seen before. Changing from Mnangagwa to the next government is going to be the most difficult thing you've ever seen. Because Mnangagwa is not going to leave easily. It's not going to be like Mugabe. It's going to stage a fight back, and it's going to be very, very bad. So I'm just preparing you guys for what is going to happen, and it has already started. So I think let's end it here. Tomorrow morning, I'll be here at 5 a.m. We have a news roundup every morning, which we send to the raw areas because the raw areas don't have newspapers. So every morning at 5 a.m., we send that roundup to the raw areas. Currently, we have over 100,000 people watching Gambakwe Media content on a daily basis. But I would like to ask the guys who are uploading our content, especially on TikTok, not to take the whole video. So if you want to take me speaking, or if you want to take Chafuta, or you want to take if you want to take their content, don't take the whole thing. Take like a few minutes, the key points, and upload there. Because if you take my whole content and I find myself with 500,000 views on TikTok, I still have 10 people to pay. So we need to be able to pay people. But I know I need to balance the fact that we need to send the message out, and also that you guys want us to reach as many people as possible. So try to balance. So take a few minutes, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Don't take the whole 40 minutes or 50 minutes and load on your channel. So myself, I'm not going to be penalizing people as long as you don't put it on YouTube. So don't put your stuff on YouTube. You can put on all the other platforms, but on YouTube, you cannot put our content there because they'll close your channel. So I think we've covered a lot of things here, and I really appreciate all your support over the past 14 years of Gambakwe Media. And as I said, within the next few weeks, I'll be issuing a statement on how you can become a shareholder on Gambakwe. We want 20 people who are going to own part of the head office of Gambakwe in Harare. I'd like to thank all of you, and I'll see you again in the morning. A good night to you all.